Hey guys, welcome back. Working on the Biscayne again. Now we're going to work on dressing up this engine a little bit. If you guys have done LS swaps, or if you're doing one right now or have seen them in the past, LS motors have those coils sitting on top of the valve covers. There's not a real good way of making those look good. Some people put the coils underneath the intake if they can. Some put them on the firewall and run plug wires. Some put them down anywhere they can hide them and then run wires from there. We want it to be simple, but we still want it to look nice. So we're going to be putting on some polished aluminum coil covers, and they'll go right over the valve cover. Let me grab the one here. So this is what it looks like. This one's polished. They make them, I think they make them in a brushed as well. I'm not sure, or possibly even a black anodized. It's got little knockouts on the side for the plug wires to go through, and then it's kind of raised up on this one side for the wires to get down to the coils. This one has a hole in it for the oil fill, the other one does not. So let's go ahead and test fit this. I'm going to do it on the passenger side because I'm not quite sure how everything's going to work on the driver's side yet with the brake booster. I may have to modify this and cut it down to fit around that. In the kit you're going to get two of these covers. One has a big hole in it for the oil fill, so that's going to line up over that. And then it also comes with this extender. It's billet. It comes with a nice billet cap. And then it comes with these studs. Now, one of these studs is shorter. That's the one that's going to be holding this down. And so there's a stud and then the spacer. All the studs are the same length, but it's kind of confusing the way they got them set in here. You would think that you just screw those into the valve cover through the coil bracket. So like right through that hole. But you need to actually take these out first. So inside of there is a small hole for an Allen wrench, and I believe this was a 3mm. So you need to thread these out of the spacers, and then what we're going to do is we're going to flip it around to where the Allen is facing up, and we're just going to thread these in first. And we'll use an Allen wrench and we'll tighten those down. You don't have to go crazy, because if you tighten this all the way down, it'll actually pop through the bottom of the valve cover, or you'll end up stripping out the hole because it'll bottom out in the threads. So we just need to run this down. This one will sit up here like that. So we don't have to go too far. We just have to go far enough to where this will thread on there and still have room for the bolt to go in the top that holds down the coil cover. Now you could put a little Loctite on these just to keep them in the valve cover if you ever remove the spacers. The stud may try to come out with the spacer unless these are Loctited in there. I'm not too worried about it, so I'm just going to snug this down a little bit. And I don't want to go too far because I want enough threads in that spacer that the spacer is not going to strip out. So I'm just going to go right there. This little spacer for the oil fill, it doesn't twist lock in like the original one. It just has an O-ring on the groove here. So we'll just drop that into place, wiggle it, make sure that it's down in the valve cover, and then I'm going to put this spacer on, make sure it's sitting flat, and then I'll have to grab a wrench to tighten that up. But then on the top side here, apparently I need to get a different size. That's probably a 4mm, so we'll loosen this up and set that aside. And let's also get one of these installed at the back of the valve cover. Where you're going to install these is the farthest hole in this coil bracket. So at each end of the valve cover, there's an extra hole down here at the bottom, but that's not the one we're going to use because this one will go through here and hold the coil bracket down. Now I'll go back through and tighten these because I got to put the other bolts in this bracket. I just really want to mock it up today and make sure that I don't have to make any changes anywhere else. Make sure all my plug wires are straight here. I loosened up my dipstick. I unbolted it back from the head, so I have room to slide this in there. You may have to, if you have an automatic transmission dipstick. This is off the stock truck setup, so I may have to bend that a little bit. I'm not quite sure. And I'll have to make sure that clears the hood too, because it seems like it sits up kind of high. It'll probably just barely clear. But once I get the coil cover on, I can probably push this back down into place. and I'm just kind of tucking the wires into it. I don't know quite how it's going to fit. It doesn't seem to go all the way down on there. Let me see here. Okay, that's going to be a problem. Apparently, my coils are too tall. So I have the tall coils in here. That's what came with my motor. And these coil covers don't go down far enough. So I'll either have to change the ignition coils, or I'll have to put washers underneath those spacers and space those up. So if I even have a couple threads in here, I can't even get close to getting threads in the back one. So I'm just going to go ahead and take this apart for now, see if I can get some spacers underneath there and get this mounted up. I don't really want to have to swap out all these coils. I have another engine at home. I might check and see if it has shorter coils on it. So what the difference is on these coils, you see where the spark plug attaches up here on top of the coil body? Well, they have two versions on a lot of these trucks, and the other version, the spark plug wire attaches over here, or it could be over here, but it would be down about 3/4 of an inch lower. So it kind of rests right in there. That's the issue we're running into. These coil covers that I got must not be made for this style coil, even though I don't remember anything being in the description about it. But then again, I didn't read all that well. When I purchased them, I just saw them. They looked like they would match the intake manifold, so I ordered them. So I'll either have to change out the ignition coils or run spacers. I think for now I'm just going to run some washers underneath these spacers, just so we can get an idea of what it's going to look like. Well, I did get this valve cover mounted up just temporarily. I ended up having to stack like 6 or 7 washers in there. It's not ideal. If I end up going with this, I'll take those out and I'll put an actual spacer in there. It sits up a little higher than I expected it to, and that's because I had to space it up. You can see that it's above the valve cover surface. I think that's supposed to sit down in there. Now this side over here, we got all kinds of issues with. Well, for one, I scratched it and I'll have to polish it back out. So since then I put felt tape on the booster, but it doesn't clear the alternator. I went back and reread the description. In the notes, it says there may be a clearance issue with high mount alternator brackets. So I'm already going to have to modify these to make them work. I think I could cut this out, trim it up, grind this aluminum plate, bend it back over and weld it back into place, and it'll clear the alternator, because I need to get this piece up to about here. The other issue that isn't going to be so easy to solve is the brake booster doesn't clear the valve cover. Now, I already have a offset brake booster bracket temporarily mounted in here, and I'm still having clearance issues. So this bracket moves the brake booster over about 1.5 inches, I think, maybe 2 inches, and it still won't clear. So I either need to find a smaller booster, or I can get different ignition coils and try to get that coil cover down further. I don't have the coils on this side right now, but I spaced that spacer and stud right back in there about the same distance as I have it on the other side. If I had shorter coils, I could drop that down another 1/4 inch or so, gain a little bit of room, but I still may have issues with this booster. Now the other option would be to go with a smaller booster, or possibly even a Hydro Boost unit. And I'm really starting to think a Hydro Boost would be the way to go in this situation, because there's just such a lack of room in here. It wouldn't be a big deal to mount a Hydro Boost unit on there. I may need to weld in a secondary line on the power steering reservoir for a return. So that kind of sucks. Another roadblock on the way to getting this thing done. If I wasn't putting the coil covers on there, it wouldn't be as big of a deal. I could just put that booster on there and we would be good to go. But the customer wants it dressed up a little bit. There are some other coil covers out there I've thought about getting another set, but they all seem to be about $200 a set. Once you buy them, you really can't return them. I mean, they scratch so easy. I could polish that one back up without an issue, but I'm not going to be able to repackage it up and send it back to the manufacturer because they're going to be able to see that the hardware has been installed. You don't know if it fits unless you try to install it. So if I end up not using these ones, they're going to sit on the shelf until I find a vehicle that they will fit on, which they might fit on my 53 Chevy when I go to start that project. I'm going to end this here now. Once I figure out if I'm going to run the Hydro Boost, a smaller brake booster, or shorter coils, or a completely different route, maybe different coil covers, then I will let you guys know what we come up with, and hopefully I'll have something more put together. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.